Hi people, Daniel from Devil & Sons Guitars here, and in my final blog of 2020 I'm going to look back on my favourite 10 guitars that I've worked on this year. So in no particular order, the first one is actually the second guitar I've made for Dr. Gothic, and I'm currently designing a third one with him. As with a lot of my collaborators, we build up quite a rapport in the way we're designing. The back and forth to develop an idea is what really makes the design process exciting for me. I love taking someone's hint of an idea and turning it into reality. So for this one, Dr. Gothic wanted a guitar that was a steampunked theme one. We put lights on it, cogs in it, it was gold and black. It looked worn and used, exactly what he wanted. He was very happy with it. Hence why we're working on the third one, which is actually going to go along with the theme of his next album, which is a bit more futuristic. Anyway, hopefully stay tuned for that in 2021. And whilst we're on steampunk guitars, one of my other favourite guitars from this year was one that I revisited. It was one of the first guitars I customised 6 or 7 years ago. At that point I was really into steampunk guitars. I hadn't really seen anyone else doing it, although it became a bit of a thing, so I moved away from it a bit. It was a guitar I'd bought second hand. I'd bought things on eBay, like part of an old motorcycle engine, and I kind of screwed it all together, and it worked okay, but I wasn't that happy with it because there were elements of this second hand guitar which weren't, I didn't think, up to scratch. But since then, my skills as a guitar maker really improved. So I went back and revisited that guitar. I replaced parts on it, and as a result, I've ended up with a guitar that I'm incredibly happy with. This one's actually gone off to Canada this year. It was part of an order from a shop called Music Pro, who asked for 3 guitars for me. They bought one in the past, one of my Mad Axe guitars, and they resold it in their shop. So they were quite keen to get 3 very different guitars. Another one that they asked me to do was a revisit to an old design. Again, one of the first ones I customised, and it was my Terminator themed one. I originally customised a Mockingbird guitar, a bit like the one Slash played in the You Could Be Mine video from Terminator 2, with a skull of a Terminator and an arm of a Terminator on it, and I did much the same here. It was a Mockingbird style guitar, but a slightly different paintwork. Definitely the way I sculpt and build has changed, and I think it's a massive improvement. I really like this one. And to go along with that, I also built them one of my end-of-the-road guitars. This year I built a few different end-of-the-road guitars, and actually I've still got a couple available in my shop. One of them's a Telecaster, but this one, which is my favourite, will be going up in the shop soon, but I made it specifically for somebody who wanted to feature it on their YouTube channel. But because of everything that's happened with the coronavirus and lockdowns, we kind of lost contact for a lot of the year. Totally my fault. So I'm not really sure if that's going to be sent there or not. Stay tuned to my website because it will probably go up for sale mid-January. I've had quite a few customers that have come back this year. One of them is Chris. He asked me to paint a guitar for a friend of his. He really wanted it to be themed in a way that was really unique for them. And honestly, it was very unique. I've never done anything like this. It's a giraffe themed guitar with an image on the scratch plate that really links to things they're interested in. There's even a little hidden penguin disguised as a giraffe on the guitar, something that they would really like that's hidden away for them to find. And whilst I'm on paint jobs, behind me here is a respray that I did for a client called Luca. Again, I've done a few things for him, including the year before, in 2019, I did a relic telly job for him. I've got a whole video about that up online. But this one was just a respray and a new scratch plate, reassembled it for him. And one reason I'm putting this in my top 10 is after doing the relic and doing this one, I've really changed my love of Telecasters. Before I really was a Strat guy. I grew up playing Strats. I much preferred Strats. Wasn't really a big fan of Telecasters. But there's something about this yellow, especially with the black scratch plate, that's made me fall in love with it. This one's got the grain coming through as well. Absolutely love it. Totally changed my mind on tellies. And it's because I've worked on a couple now and played on them. Brilliant things. Another client I've worked with a number of times, and I'm sure we're going to be working again this year, is Zacharias from Interaxis. You may remember the Punisher guitar I did for him last year, or the year before that, I worked on a Mad Axe type of one. This one was a Viking themed one, something he was really keen to see realised, and it was good fun to work on. It involved a lot of techniques I hadn't used before, including the way the lights are put in behind the hammers, and I put a veneer on which and I really like the way I put a veneer on it to get this old looking wood. It's a technique I'll probably go back to. And as if I set it up in this order on purpose, talking about mad axes like the one I did a couple of years ago for Zacharias. I only worked on one this year, and it's one that I've really enjoyed working on. I think the paintwork on it's a bit different to what I normally do, really intense and over the top. A lot of these mad axes are a lot more rusty and metallic looking, but I like the way the flames are the main feature on this one. It's currently up for sale on my website, so check it out. At this point, I will also say for 2021, I'm offering a new service with made-to-order guitars of the different types of designs I do, like the End of the Roads, like the Mad Axes. You can check them out on the website, pay for them in advance, and then we work together to really finalise the design. Normally they take a couple of months to make, and then they'll be sent straight to you. Possibly my favourite project of the year, in a selfish way, was this Shattercaster behind me. Now, that's appeared in a few of my videos, and I've also made some videos which haven't finished editing, which I'll be putting out in 2021 that focus on it. It's a Shattercaster. I've made lots of Shattercasters before, where I embed broken mirror into the body of the guitar. But this one is a Strat as opposed to a bass. Normally I've worked on P basses or jazz basses before. It was the first electric guitar I ever owned, my Squier Strat from a long time ago. 25 years, 26 years. And finally, number 10, it's a bit of a cheat. It's 2 guitars, and it will be 3 very soon. And they're guitars I've not finished, but they've been the most enjoyable to work on because, as is always the case, they're the most recent ones I'm working on. And I'm always just incredibly passionate about the current and the next job. Not that I don't like my old work, but I just get so involved in new projects. And these ones are sci-fi themed ones. I cannot wait to share them with you. So stay tuned to my Instagram account for photos as they develop over the year. And I'm going to make a series of videos very specifically about how I customize these ones, because I think there's something really unique and different to what anyone else out there is making. Anyway, let me know what you'd like to see me make in 2021. And until next time, happy strumming.